Terry Bradshaw joining us via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. So I don't mean to pry into your business, Terry. But
don't.
But you I remember you signed some big fat contracts, Terry Bradshaw. Did it put a little pressure on you once you saw those checks?
Well, no. My football contract, the most money I ever made was $300,000. And back then you were paying 50 cents of that to the government. So added up, everything I had to borrow money. I even mortgaged my NFL contract to buy a ranch and a tractor and a cutter to cut hay. So it was all relative. And this is it's pretty interesting what's come down with this Mahomes thing. I'm happy for him. That's good for him. Or as I say, good on you, mate.
Yeah. I was thinking, Terry, I like the idea that he just took the money discussion off the table. And there's part of me that thinks, you know what? I'm so tired of Dak and the Cowboys. I'm over both of them. If you knew you could get the money thing done for 10 years, and maybe you make a little less, Terry, but you just took the damn discussion off the table. Couldn't I argue it's better for you? It's easier on the mind.
You can absolutely. I would agree with what you're saying, and I agree with what he did. 10 years at $40 million, he's got an injury clause at 150. I don't know all the specifics. That is a ton of money. And I just left his hometown yesterday, Tyler, Texas, where his mama is still working. His dad is still a custodian. I'm sure he'll take care of them. I hope so. This is a good young man, and good things happen to him. But he did the right thing. $40 million. So what? So somebody makes 45 or 50. 40 million, 40 million, 40 million. Pay your taxes. Put it in some banks. Invest in markets. Do some safe things. Buy land. Whatever. God bless him. I'm happy for him, and I think he did a really smart thing. And Colin, forget this. Well, Dak's going to try to get 40. Dak's not worth 40. All right, forget that. But Dak, if he'll just stay and play off the coattail of the average, he'll make 35 a year for the next 3 or 4 years, just sitting there doing whatever, But you start winning, and you move that needle. And this Mahomes kid, he moves the needle. I had a buckskin baby born on my ranch this year. Most incredible baby I ever had. You know what we named it? Mahomes. Yeah, he is special. It's a special baby, and this guy's a special talent, and good for him. I'm really happy for him.
It's interesting that the coaching dynamic, Brady and Belichick worked forever, but they got tired of each other in the end. You and Noel got 4 Super Bowls. You probably wore each other out in the end. I get it. Like it's the reality of it. Andy Reid, how much of Andy Reid is Mahomes' success? Because I think you almost hit the lottery when you get Andy Reid.
Well, Andy Reid is very quarterback friendly, very smart. And he is a product of the West Coast offense, which for our listeners, our viewers out there, was an offense that was driven off of a triangle to the strong side, tight end side, to get rid of the ball quick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If the flat's open, take it. If he's not, go to the second, go to the third. It's all right there. And then the backside is the mirror image of the front side. Get rid of the ball. And you could take a Joe Montana at 6'2", say, 205. You could take a Kenny Anderson in Cincinnati. A Brian Sipe, a little guy in Cleveland, just throwing it like nobody had ever seen. So this offense is so good. I love this West Coast offense. And it's perfect for Mahomes because Andy just made it a little deeper. He just made the passes a little deeper. And then you take into consideration how talented this kid is, moving out of the pocket, feeling the pressure, all the God-given traits that, very few people have that play that position. And it's just perfect. And Andy is the perfect quarterback coach. He's a guy that is always going to pick you up. He's not going to scream and holler at you and beat you up and make you feel bad, make you get nervous looking over your shoulder. He's always going to embrace and love you up. And he's so smart offensively. Perfect match, these two.
It's a salary cap sport. And the good news is Andy Reid, a lot of his best players on offense, he got in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. He makes everybody.
Right.
He makes it. But it is interesting that, I could make the argument, the less you take, the more wins you get. Or is that unfair to a pro athlete, to ask a pro athlete, take less to win more? Because people are saying Mahomes' deal is not great for Mahomes. It's great for the Chiefs. But I would argue what's great for Mahomes is winning games, right?
Hey, let me tell you something. I've never had a soul ever ask me, hey, Bradshaw, how much money did you make? Hey, Bradshaw, how many yards did you throw for? Hey, Bradshaw, how many touchdown passes did you throw for? They always want to what? Show me the rings. That is what this is about. And if you give up a little money, tell the people out there right now that are going through this pandemic, that are worried about being able to buy a loaf of bread or some milk for their kids and see this $40 million. Tell them about this and see how they feel. Patrick understands this is a lot of money. And how much is enough? Do you have to be the highest paid? No. But if you save a little, that's why I admire Tom Brady, Colin. Brady could have had the ego our boy down in New Orleans, he wanted to be the highest paid. You got the guy in Indy, you had Peyton, highest paid. That's important to them, and that's fine. That's good if that's what they need. But Brady knew winning championships, and if he had to give up $5 or $6 million, so what? Look at, it's got 6 world titles, 6. That's pretty impressive. That's why I appreciate and respect Tom Brady so much. And this Mahomes kid reminds me so much of Tom Brady.
Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys. Everybody says he has talent. I want you to go back, Terry, to the first time you saw him play. Was it obvious for you? Because Andy Reid admits, Andy's like, listen, I had the GM kept telling me, you got to take him. And he's like, I watched them and I'm like, Andy's like, he's a little loose back there. I'm not sure. Go back to the first time you saw Mahomes. What did Terry Bradshaw see?
I saw him at Texas Tech. And he, to me, was just another Texas Tech quarterback. Just another guy in that offense that just throws it 50 times a game. And all those quarterbacks coming out of that offense are so protected by that offensive structure that they go into the NFL and they're totally lost. So I gave him no thought. And then he was drafted, and I thought, oh, my God, here, another Texas Tech quarterback. And then he got to play at the end of his rookie year, 3 or 4 games. And I saw just a little bit of him. I thought, hey, this kid's got some instinct. And then the following year, they moved Smith. And man alive, I never saw this, Colin. If that's what you're asking me, I never saw this coming. I never saw this ability. I never saw this talent. I never saw the imaginary that he has. I never saw any of this. So I'm Andy Reid. I'm going, come on, man. You sure about this? So everybody passed on him. Now everybody's going, well, we were going to take him. And so here we go. I wanted him. I liked him, but they wouldn't let me get him. And,
No, listen.
He's one of those guys. It's like a racehorse. Who in the world can buy a racehorse and say he's going to win the Triple Crown? He's got all the bloodlines. If that's the case, everyone from the Arab nation, all those owners, those sheiks, they'd win every race. They got more money than anybody. You cannot see inside of a man's skin. You don't know what's in that heart. You don't know what boils him, what excites him, how he loves the big moment, how cool and calm he is. Maybe you just can't see all of that. I didn't see it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to again, Terry. As I've told you before, I imitated you as I was a quarterback in high school. I was terrible, but I used to. You actually.
Whoa! So you imitated me?
Well, I used to throw. I threw the ball like you. Okay, I tried to.
That's bad. That's bad.
Because Terry would put his hand on the finger of the ball, on the top of the ball.
That's the worst way. Exactly.
And coaches were like, "That's not how you throw a football." And I'm like, "That's how Terry Bradshaw throws it." So, but here's what's interesting. So go back to your career. So you get some money and you get some fame, and you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's sort of a defensive team, and you want to feel yourself a little bit. I do wonder. I do wonder if Mahomes, now he's going to be this iconic star in America for the next 20 years. If he feels he has to top himself, which I think is a dangerous thing to do. Did you ever, after your Super Bowls, think I got to top Terry? Because when you're great, the expectations, Terry, the contract.
Yeah.
Do you worry about it?
Mine was never money based. Oh, I've got to play better. I just got a big bonus or something. Mine was always based off of winning. Oh my God. Played the Browns last year. We beat them twice. 7 years in a row. We got the Raiders on the schedule. That's how I put pressure on myself. I gotta beat the Raiders. We got the Cowboys. They're hard to beat. And that's all that consumed me when the schedule came out. I already knew the division games was, winning. How am I going to win those games? So the pressure was not ever on money because I never had any. My thing was Super Bowl. I'll tell you the one time, I will admit this. We played the Super Bowl 13 that year, whatever that was, 79 or 80, I'm not sure. 79 maybe. And I was the MVP in the league. And I just couldn't do anything wrong, Colin. I was in what a lot of athletes call a zone. I just could do no wrong. God just said, hey, you hillbilly, I'm gonna give you a great year and don't screw it up, all right? And so I go into the playoff games. That's my first pass against the Houston Oilers, intercepted for a touchdown. I just walked over to the sideline, didn't give it any thought, and then went back out and we won the football game. And playoff games, Buffalo just lit the place up just by accident, really. Got to the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden, everybody, Bradshaw, we got to stop Bradshaw. And I'm like, I'm reading the papers and I'm going, well, why you got to stop me? What did I do? Leave me alone. I'm just out here trying to do the best job I can. But it got into my head. I'm not kidding you now. I got to thinking, boy, I'm the MVP of the league. Golly, boy, I can't let people down. God, what if I play a horrible game? What if it did, Colin. It got in my head. And then Thomas Hollywood Henderson, you can't spell cat, spot him C and the T and everything. We got to stop Bradshaw. And I'm like, wow, what about, I created a monster of myself.
Yeah.
And, but after a rough start and the Super Bowl 13 came back and played well. So you forget about that once you start playing. But it did get into my head that, there's a lot of pressure on me. Everybody's expecting me to win this game and play like an MVP. Yeah. And it did get to me, but it was never, boy, if I have a great year, I'll make another $25,000. Hey, Colin, you'll love this. I get selected to the Pro Bowl. I threw for 1,800 yards and 15 touchdown passes. And we win Super Bowl 10, and I get knocked out. And I'm waking up the next morning. I'm on the sidewalk waiting for the bus. All the players are loading up. I'm flying home with my mom and dad. Then going to New Orleans for the Pro Bowl. And Dan Rooney said, "You're not going to the Pro Bowl." And I said, "What do you mean I'm not going to the Pro Bowl?" He says, "You're not going to the Pro Bowl coming off that concussion." He said, "You don't even remember walking off the field." I said, "But I'll be fine in a week." In a week. And he said, "No, you're not going. We've already told the league you're not going." And I said, "But I get a $2,500 bonus if I go to the Pro Bowl." And I didn't get the money. I needed that $2,500.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah.
Sad. Here we are talking about $40 million. I mean, everybody's going, "Well, he shouldn't have signed that. He can look at all the money he left on the table. $40 million. Oh my God." Oh.
Yeah, no. By the way,
I sure could use it.
Yeah. You're in your study right now. Are you in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I am.
So
I am.
And how many heads of cattle you got out there on the ranch?
I just sold 102 head of the Richard Angus. I've got 75 Brangus and Gray Brahman, Rusted Brahman. They'll go to the market in October, and that'll be it. I would have moved all my cattle, and but I've been buying a lot of horses. I was in Tyler's as Mahomes' place yesterday over to Steve Ferguson's place. He had a couple of great brood mares, and I went and bought them. And horses have horses are available right now because people are trying to get rid of them. And so I've been finding great buys. I got a guy coming in from South Dakota at 6:00 tonight, bringing 5 head of great horses. People are unloading them. And I don't know if I just told my trainer, I said, I don't know if I'm stupid or if I'm the smartest guy in the world, but everybody's wanting to get rid of them. And I'm getting them relatively cheap for what their value really is. And so, yeah, and we're in between filming the Bradshaw bunch. So this is a break. I get to come in here and talk to you.
It's great. See, I don't talk about horse buying with any other guests, so that was a very rare opportunity. You're the only guy I talk horses with is Terry Brad. And Joy and I are like, well, this is a different conversation. I never talked about buying horses with any of my guests before. Okay.
It's nice to show you have, versatility with your program.
Yeah.
That's why I call you Cowhead and Cowherd. Right there. Now, I'm bringing it into my world.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back to some football. Everybody keeps asking me, Colin, about football, and I don't have any more answers for them right now.
Crossing my fingers.
I know, brother. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
good talking to you.
Hey, nice talking to you. Thanks for letting me come on your show.
Yeah. Very popular.
I enjoy your show a lot.
Yeah. People in America love it. It's a very popular show.
Your show?
Yeah.
It's the most popular show ever. You're my favorite host. No kidding. You really are.
All right.
You're a great guy, and you're talented, and you're smart. And
whatever.
I enjoy that.
All right.
I enjoy listening to you.
All right.
You're red, aren't you? Your face is getting
Let's
red.
Go. All right. Go buy some more horses. All right.
All right. Have me back on. I got nothing to do.
Okay. Terry Bradshaw, Hall of Famer, and our friend. Love having him on. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.